Hello, my name is Victoria, and as you can probably tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be telling you my thoughts on Shane Dawson's In the Mind of Jake Paul series that he did. I got my Spider-Man PJs, I've got my tea, and I'm ready to fucking party. No. There. Yes. I'm gonna start this off by saying this is going to be a pretty positive video, not because I'm biased and I'm up Shane's ass, but because I think the series was done really well considering what he had to work with and who he had to work with, and by that I mean like how many people he had to work with, not like their abilities. Obviously there were some flaws, but for the most part I think the series was quite well done. So let's just talk about it. Let's just get our tea and let's talk. First thing I want to talk about is some of the complaints that people had before, during, and after the series. Also, if you see me looking this direction a lot, it's because I have my notes right here because I prepared, because I'm a professional. So the number one complaint before he posted this series was, you better not make me like him and don't give him a platform. When you're saying, you know, I better not like him after this series and stuff like that, that's your own choice, first of all. It's your choice whether or not you decide to like him or hate him after the series. It's your choice whether you decide to have a different kind of respect for him after the series or not. All Shane is doing is trying to get inside his life and get inside his mind. Shane isn't trying to make anybody like him. That wasn't his intention. That wasn't the entire point of the series. That's your own choice. That's your own perspective. Everybody has their own opinions, and it's up to you what you want your opinion to be. Now, in regards to the whole don't give Jake Paul a platform kind of thing because he doesn't deserve it, by doing this series, Shane is not going to give a shitty person a positive platform. He's either going to expose Jake for being a shitty person, or he's going to give Jake a chance to kind of show a different side of him that he doesn't always show on camera. He's more so giving Jake a chance to show a side of him that a lot of people don't even give him the chance to see. And now that the series is done, I think that's exactly what happened, is, you know, he gave Jake that chance to see that other side of him, because there was another side of him that nobody really saw until the series came out. And then again, with that information that you now have, that you've watched, it's up to you whether you decide to have another kind of respect for him, or if you just want to go back to hating him like you were before. Another complaint was that the series was too long and Jake wasn't even in half of it, yada yada yada. The way I look at this is, you can't just go straight into an interview with him and not have anything back him up and expect people to listen to him and expect people to understand him and believe him. In order to get to that point, you need to talk to people that he's been close to. You need to talk to people that he's had problems with. You need to talk to people that have strong opinions, like he did with Inaber, and like he did with Nick Crompton, and like he did with Alyssa. In the one video, he even talked to Jake's girlfriend. When it comes to something like this, you need to have backup. And I think the way Shane did it was perfect, because he went into the interview with Nick Crompton and Nick admitted things and revealed things that Jake didn't know that he was going to talk about at all, and then when he went and saw Jake, Jake said the same things and their stories kind of matched up, and that was, you know, more of a reason to believe a lot of the things that Jake was saying were true. And it's the same thing with Alyssa. A lot of the things that she said lined up with a lot of the things that Jake said, and a lot of them didn't, but that was as expected. But having that interview with Nick and having that interview with Alyssa before him uploading the interview with Jake, it gave him more of a backup. So when people went and watched the Jake interview, they, you know, he would say something and then they would be like, oh, well, Alyssa said that in her interview, or Nick said that in her interview, or in his interview, so obviously what he's telling is true. And that's why it's so important to have backup and to have information and to have done your research before you go into something like this. And that's exactly what Shane did. I think he went into it and he was very patient about it. He took his time and he put a lot of work into it, and I think it paid off in the end. I feel like a lot of people don't realize what he did and why he did it, but when you look at the big picture and you look from start to finish, you kind of start to realize that a lot of the things that you didn't think were necessary were actually necessary. Like I said before, a lot of it might not have been necessary, but he still put it in there. It's what he decided to do. I think with this series, he did a lot more things right than he did wrong, and I think that is, in my opinion, what made it so successful. Now, this series was not going to be perfect. They didn't have a big team, they didn't have a big production team, they didn't have a professional cameraman, they didn't have a lot of people working on it at all. They had Shane and they had Andrew. The two of them were the ones filming, they were the ones editing, they were the ones, you know, staying up all night editing, trying to make sure that these videos were perfect, or as perfect as they could have been. And I think, considering who they had and how many people that they had to work on this series and what they ended up putting out, I think it's incredible, and I feel like a lot of people don't really appreciate how two people making a series like that is very impressive, but to each their own, I guess. Now, going more into Jake himself, first thing I want to say is I'm not a Jake Pauler, I think that's what they're called. I didn't go and subscribe to Jake. I don't justify anything that he's done. I think he's done a lot of shitty things, and I think he's, in a lot of aspects, a pretty shitty person. In no way am I trying to victimize him or, you know, like I said, justify anything. Just putting that out there so that people don't think things that I didn't say. I'm just putting that out there because a lot of the things that I might say might make it seem like that, and I might not notice that they might make it seem like that, but if they do, they don't. Now, I think Jake and Shane are very, very similar. When Shane was 21 years old, he was doing, you know, he did and said really shitty things. He was one of the most controversial YouTubers out there at for a long period of time. And then skip ahead to now, and he's one of the most loved and appreciated creators on the platform today. And I feel like his journey and everything that he's gone through and everything that he's done, I think it really goes to show that people can grow and people can mature and they can become better people. And I think Shane is an incredible example of that, and I think that's why he took the step to kind of give Jake a shot. If you really think about it, and like especially for me, I'm the same age as Jake. Like we were both born in 97, like we're the same age. And to look at somebody like that who's the same age as me, it just kind of makes me realize that I think he has so much room to grow, and he has so much room to mature because he's so young. You know, I imagine myself in 10 years and I imagine myself as a completely different person. I imagine myself as a lot more of a mature person, and I think that kind of goes for everybody my age. And considering he is my age, I think, you know, learn from a lot of his mistakes, and hopefully he will mature and hopefully he'll grow. And I have faith in him. I know a lot of people don't, but I think it's definitely a possibility, so I would give him that chance. Now, a lot of what the series really showed me was kind of the reasoning behind Jake's tendencies and his behaviors. During the run of this whole series, we basically learned that Jake was pretty much overshadowed by Logan his entire life. Like, he even mentions at one point that he would come up with the ideas and he would be the one that was creating things and they wouldn't even be credited to him. I think his family life growing up had a lot of impact on the person that he kind of is today, being overshadowed by his brother constantly, and the competitiveness between the two of them growing up, and all that we kind of saw in the video and that Shane kind of brought out. You know, like I said before, I'm not saying that I'm justifying anything that he's done that's been really shitty. I am saying that I understand his motivation behind a lot of the things that he's done and his kind of mindset that he's had over the past few years. And the sociopath thing. Now, I don't know much about sociopaths. I don't know, you know, I feel very uneducated, and I feel like I don't really have a say in this. I don't think it's really my place to be saying anything, but I will mention it a little bit. Do I think this deserved an entire video? No. But do I think it should have been part of the series? Sure. Going off of what we knew about Jake and what Shane knew about Jake before this, getting into the series, it was definitely a possibility. So it was a reason to, you know, kind of keep in mind and to kind of go more into. I think that could have been something that he maybe put in the first video or the second video, because I don't think it deserved an entire video. I don't think they could have, you know, I think they could have fit it more into the first one where he was talking to iNabber about it a little bit. And I think they could have put, you know, a little bit of the interview with the therapist in that video, or maybe in that video and a little bit of the next video. The whole reason for the series was for Shane to figure out who Jake is. He wanted to figure out what was his mindset and what was behind all of his crazy, insane behavior. And that's what Shane was doing, is he was looking for reasons behind it. And he looked into everything that could have been a reasonable factor. All in all, Shane did something that I feel like a lot of people would have been scared to do, or a lot of people wouldn't have wanted to do, or didn't want to, you know, give him that chance or that platform. Shane moved into doing more of these types of videos because it's something that he finds fascinating, and it's something that he enjoys to, you know, look into and create, and it's kind of just something for himself and for his audience to enjoy. And at the same time, he tries to help people, and he gives people careers. Like, he gave Andrew a career, and he, you know, Garrett helps him a lot with his videos as well. He helped Bobby boost his career. He gave Sophie a platform. He helped Graveyard Girl, aka Bunny, get back on track with her channel. He let people into Jeffree Star's life and gave people an insight into who he is as a person, and made a lot of people, including me, have so much more respect for him. And now Jake. He gave him an opportunity to prove that he's not a sociopath that has no remorse for anybody. And I think that's the biggest thing, is he gives people a chance. And I think that's really important in today's kind of society, I guess. All these creators choose what people see, and they're constantly in the public eye, and you know, when they fuck up a couple times, it's, you know, fair to give them a chance, and it's fair to give them the chance to learn from their mistakes and to grow and mature as people and as creators. And Shane, like I said before, knows that firsthand, because if people hadn't given him a chance, then he wouldn't be where he is today. And that pretty much concludes all the thoughts that I have on that whole series. I think it was overall just a really, really well done series, especially considering that it was just him and Andrew that put it together. I am currently writing a blog post, and it is called Why Shane Dawson Deserves Better Recognition, and it goes more into Shane rather than, you know, just specifically the series. This is my first time, I think, ever doing like a commentary kind of video, so I don't know how well it's gonna turn out, or how well my card filled up, and then my homemade tripod fell apart, so this is the universe telling me I need to end this video. I think I was saying something about this being my first commentary-ish type video, so basically, if you think I should do more of these, or if you want me to do more of these, leave a comment below. Tell me what you want me to talk about. If you did enjoy this video, leave it a like. If you didn't, then I guess leave it a dislike. Feel free to express all your feelings in the comment section below. Follow me on all my social media links. Those will be all my social media. The links will be in the description below. I am trying to upload more. I know I've said that like time and time again, but I actually am dealing and getting my mental health stuff sorted out this time, for real this time, so I'm gonna actually try to upload, because I miss uploading and I miss making videos, so. But yes, subscribe to me, like, comment, follow me, all that fun stuff, which I've already said, and I need to stop plugging myself. And I'll see you in the next video.